So, responsibility accounting tayo. There is a lot of goal congruence when. So, ano na nga ang goal congruence? So, kapag ang goal ng individual or division is same sa goal ng whole organization, mayroon kayong goal congruence. Okay? So, kapag hindi ka makasarili, na sariling goal mo lang ang inaatupag mo, okay, may goal congruence, no? Pero kung yung ang inaatupag mo ay yung sarili mo lang kapakanan, okay? Nagiging selfish ka. Okay? So, hindi na goal congruence ang tawag doon. Okay, so, ano ang sagot dito sa 51? Okay, so letter D. So, kapag ang manager, okay, ang inaatupag lang niya yung goal ng kanilang center, hindi ng buong organization, walang goal congruence dyan. Okay. Sub-optimization ang meron dyan. Next, a responsibility center, well, the manager held responsible for revenue. Kapag revenue lang ang responsibility mo, ikaw ay revenue center. Revenue center. Next, 53, answer ay cut. Next, 54, home company, answer ay none of the above. 55, answer ay dog. Okay, 56, answer ay cat. Answer ay apple. Okay, ayan. Ito tayo dito. Ano ang 4 categories na makikita? Okay, doon sa tinatawag natin na quality cost. Okay, so again, ano ang quality cost? Ito yung cost na kailangan mong ma-incur to maintain, okay, the quality of your product. Goods man yan or services. At nahahati yan sa 4, prevention cost. So ito yung cost na kailangan mong ma-incur to prevent, no, yung mga failure natin. Okay? To prevent failure. Yung appraisal cost, ito yung cost na ma-incur mo to detect naman. To detect any failure. Okay? Internal failure. So ito naman yung cost na ma-incur mo kapag ikaw yung nakadetect ng iyong failure. External failure. Kapag ang nakapag-detect naman ang yung failure, okay, ay mga customer mo na. Okay? You failed to detect, ang nakadetect na yung customer mo. Okay? So yan ang pinaka-most damaging, the external failure. Okay? Now, ano daw ba ang balance scorecard? So ang balance scorecard ay performance measure. Nakagandahan dito sa balance scorecard, minimeasure mo yung performance ng iyong kumpanya, hindi lang financial, using financial aspect, also the use of non-financial. Okay? Non-financial aspect. So dito sa non-financial aspect, nandito na yung customer mo, business process, at saka yung learning and growth. Okay? So letter boy ang answer. Next, number 60. Kailan daw nagkakaroon ng transfer price? So kapag meron tayong tinatawag na intra-sale. Okay? So pag sinabi mong intra-sale, sale within the company. So di ba sa AFAR, kapag sale between company and to another company, intercompany yun. From one company to the different company. Okay? Parent to subsidiary. Subsidiary to parent. Pero mag-ibang company yung dalawa na yun. Intercompany yun. Pero kapag sale, within the same company, no? Pero different division. Okay? Intra-sale yun. Kapag intra-sale, nagkakaroon tayo ng tinatawag na, okay, transfer price. So, ang transfer price, ito yung selling price na sinisingil ng selling division doon sa buying division. Okay, so answer mo dito ay letter C. May one division, magbebenta to another division, pero same company. Okay, same company. Okay. Next, mula sa mga sumusunod na cause, kailangan natin i-identify sino dyan ang prevention cause. So, yung 2 to 75, no? Yung review design, prevention yan. Okay? So, yung finished goods returned, external yan. Okay? Itong replacement ng finished goods na nasa biyahe na, external yan. Basta inspection, yan ay appraisal. Appraisal, no? Para ma-detect. Okay? Ganon din ang testing. Appraisal yan. So, yung rework, internal na yan. Okay? Yung warranty, external. Ito, pag di mo na alam, prevention yan. Prevention. Kasi maliwanag naman yung appraisal. Maliwanag. Basta makita mo ang salitang inspect or test, matik na yan, appraisal yan. So kapag internal, so mayroon ka ng failure. Tapos ikaw ang nakadetect. So pag external, may failure ka na. Pero customer or labas yung nakadetect. So ito, testing, matik yan, appraisal. So mayroon ka ng repair. Failure yan, di ba? Okay, internal na yan. Okay, so maintenance, ayan. Okay, kasama yan. Para ma-prevent yung mga breakdown, kailangan i-maintain. So scrap, okay, internal failure na yan. So training para ma-prevent yung mga human error. So, ayan. 275 plus 180 plus 145 plus 90 plus 136. Okay, di kasama ito guys, no? Product claim liability. External ito. So answer mo dyan, boy. Okay. Next, 62, 63. Okay, so ang tinatanong niya is MCE. Okay? So pag sinabi mong MCE, edi process time yan, yung natatanging value adding time, divided by manufacturing, okay, cycle time. Okay, so pag sinabi mong manufacturing cycle time, from the moment na magkaroon naman na ma-start yung process, no, hanggang sa mag-end yung process. So hindi dito kasama yung waiting time bago mag-start yung process, hindi kasama. Okay? So ayan. So basically lahat maliban yung waiting time, yung first waiting time. So yung 5, yung 1.5, yung process time, tsaka yung waiting time in between, yung waiting time in between, kasama yan. Pero yung waiting time prior to the start of the production, hindi kasama. So hindi to kasama. No? Hindi yan kasama. Yan yung waiting time prior to the start. Itong waiting time in between the production, yes, kasama na yan. At lahat kasama. So 5, so 5 plus 1.5 plus 3 plus 2.5, that is 12. No? So 12 ang manufacturing time. Okay? Tapos process time is 3. So 25% ang efficiency. So 25% mula sa oras na kinokonsume mo, 25 lang doon ang nakakadagdag sa value. So inefficient ka pa rin. Dami kang nasasayang na oras, 9 hours. Now, pag sinabing delivery cycle time, kasama lahat. Pati yung first waiting time. Okay? So pag sinama mo lahat, 12 plus 10, you'll get 22. Okay, next. Number 64. So, pakibasa mo na guys, number 64. Okay, so magkano daw yung bargaining range dito sa transfer price na to? So kapag si buyer at si seller magna-negotiate, ano yung range ng kanilang negotiation? Okay? So bargaining range. So ang bargaining range, yan yung maximum hanggang minimum. Okay? So magkano yung pinakamataas na pwedeng ibayad ni buying division? Magkano yung pinakamababang pwedeng itinda ng selling division yung kanyang produkto? Okay. So ang maximum amount, simple lang ito, kung magkano yung purchase price sa labas. Okay? So kapag si buying division, pag si selling division, siningil si buying ng mas mataas compare sa kung magkano niya pwedeng bilhin sa labas, eh wag na lang siyang bumili sa insa, wag na lang siyang bumili kay selling division, bumili na lang siya sa labas. So kung mababasa mo yung problem, no? Kapag bumili sa labas, okay? Pag bumili sa labas, makakabili siya sa halagang 100 pesos. So the maximum will be the 100. Pag si selling, sinigil niya si buying na mas mataas sa 100, eh wag na siya bumili kay selling. Bumili na lang siya sa labas. Now, yung minimum naman natin is kung magkano pwedeng itinda, hindi, kung magkano yung variable cost na gagastusin ni selling. Okay? So magkano yung pinakamababa niya pwedeng itinda. So dapat kapag tininda ni selling, mababawi niya yung variable cost niya. So dadagdag mo yung variable cost. Plus yung CM sa regular. Okay? Kung ikaw ay full capacity. So yung foregone income niya, okay, kung full capacity ka, kailangan niya i-sacrifice yung regular sale niya at mayroon siyang contribution margin na mawawala. Okay? So kung magkano yun, kailangan niya rin yung bawiin. Kailangan niya yung bawiin kay buying division. Okay, so actually sa problem na to, ang problema mo na lang minimum kasi yung maximum, no problem ka sa choices, lahat 100. Okay? So magkano ba yung variable cost? 70. Okay? Pero sabi dito, plus 10. So, pero sabi kasi dito, wala daw selling cost na magagastos. So tatanggalin mo ngayon yan. 70 lang. 70. So the variable cost is 70. Ngayon kailangan mo yung dadagdag mo ba yung CM sa regular? Oh, depende kung full capacity or hindi. Sabi sa problem, full capacity ka. So idadagdag mo yung CM sa regular. Magkano yung CM sa regular? So selling price niya is 106. Kapag nagbenta siya sa labas, mabibenta niya ng 106. Ang variable cost niya, kapag binenta sa labas, 80. So ang CM na regular, okay? So dinagdag natin yung 10 ha, kasi regular yon. Kapag dito sa intra-company walang 10, kaya 70 lang to. Eh kinocompute natin regular. So magkano to? 26, no? So 70 plus 26, you'll get 96. So the bargaining range is between 96 and 100. So letter C. Ah, okay. Next, number 67. Mamaya na natin i-explain tong EVA sa ibang problem. For the meantime, ang answer dyan ay letter C. Next, number 66. Ang tinatanong niya dito, sino daw yung value adding? Simple lang. Ang value adding lang ay yung process time. So yung move, yung inspection, yung wait, lahat yan non-value adding. Non-value adding yan lang. Next, MCE ulit. This time, hindi na classify kung sino dyan ang considered as processing, sino dyan ang waiting, sino dyan ang inspection, okay? Sino dyan ang move, and wait. Yun lang naman ang bago. Okay. So pakitry yung number 67. 1 minute guys to read. Try to answer. Pag tinotal mo to, ito ay 26, no? So paano ka mag-compute ng MCE? Manufacturing time divided by process time. Yung manufacturing time ka na 26. Yung process time ka na lang. Okay, so ang process time dyan ay 19 guys. 19. Ito lang yun. Okay, so yung receiving, yung storing, parang movement yan eh, movement. Material handling, ito yung mga movement. Move time yan. Okay? So, hindi yan processing. So, 19 divided by 26, you'll get 73.08%. Letter A. Okay, na-explain na to. This is, ayan. Nawalit lang siya guys, sorry. Next, number 70. So kapag dinedelegate mo daw, binibigyan mo daw ng kapangyarihan yung mga lower management mo to decide. Okay? Ang tawag dyan ay decentralized. Pero kapag yung pinakang-boss lang ang nagde-decide, hindi mo hinahayaan mag-decide, bago sila mag-decide yung lower management, eh humihingi pa sila ng permiso sa iyo, centralized yun. Okay? Next. Ano daw ang benefit ng decentralized organization? So lahat yan. Matetrain, mamomotivate sila, yung top management, makakapag-focus sa strategic planning, hindi na sila abalahin ng mga walang kakwenta-kwentang decision making sa baba. Okay? At ayun, in division manager, sila ang makakapag-allowed sila makamag-make ng important decision. Next, 72. Okay? It is a system of accounting that implemented to an organization so that performance measure are recorded. So ang responsibility accounting guys, ang sagot dito sa number 72 at ang definition niya itong nasa taas. Okay? So again, ang responsibility accounting is performance. Okay? Measure tool. Na kung saan, dinedetermine mo sino ba ang may responsibility doon sa naging performance ng isang division, okay, or ng buong kumpanya. Sino daw ba ang dapat sisihin sa mga pagkakamali or sa kapalpakan ng isang kumpanya? Sino dapat ang parangalan doon sa mga success ng kumpanya? Okay? So, responsibility accounting ang tawag doon. Next. Okay. So, kapag daw yung goal ng isang employee is the same sa goal ng kumpanya, ano meron ka? Goal congruence. Walang goal optimization, ha? So, yung sub-optimization, ito naman yung kabaliktaran ni goal congruence. Okay? Na kung saan, ang goal mo, yung sarili mo lang. Yung goal mo lang na pang sarili. Okay? So, sa selfish ka dyan. 74, naku mukhang lalabas sa exam, 3 beses na lumabas. Okay? Next. A responsibility center, 76 na tayo, na ulit yung 75. Responsible for both revenue and cost. So, revenue minus cost, ano tawag mo dyan? Profit. Edi profit center ka dyan. Which of the following organization segment is most likely an independent business? Edi investment. 78. There are instances where a management decision would be beneficial for a given but not for the whole company. Okay? Ano daw ang tawag dito? Sub-optimization. Okay? Ang iniisip mo lang daw is yung makakabuti, magiging beneficial dun sa department ninyo, pero hindi dun sa buong kumpanya. Okay? So nagiging makasarili ka. Iniisip mo lang kung ano yung makakabuti sa department ninyo, okay? Kahit na hindi ito aligned dun sa goal ng kumpanya. Sub-optimization. Okay, so sa balance scorecard, okay, hanapin dito, okay, yung customer satisfaction. Okay, so answer dito is boy, hindi yan customer satisfaction kasi yan ay financial measure. Kapag customer, non-financial yan. Ang EBA kasi guys, minimeasure mo yan in amount. Okay, kino-compute mo yan in amount. So financial yan eh. Okay, unlike customer satisfaction, non-financial. Obvious yung sagot. Okay, for 80, responsible for both revenue and cost, the profit center. Next, gawa tayo ng segmented income statement. So pakibasa muna, 81 hanggang 84.
Good morning, everyone.
Howdy, y'all. We have switched locations and we are in between Quartzsite and Yuma, Arizona on some beautiful BLM land that's kind of desolate, sort of, because there's no homes or anything around here. However, it is very packed with campers.
Oh yeah, when we drove in, we came from the north and there was just campers everywhere. On BLM land, on either side of the highway. Before you get to Quartzsite, after Quartzsite, we're probably an hour and a half from Yuma, and I have never seen anything like it before. It is wild. So where we are camping at is BLM land, but we're about a mile from the Kofa Wildlife Refuge, and there is an awesome, from the pictures we've seen, hike we're gonna do over there into a canyon with some palm trees. But we did sleep very well last night. Like Cody was saying, it was very quiet. We have nobody really next to us, but if you just kind of look out, you see campers everywhere. We've got some blueberry pancakes going this morning.
Ooh, look at those skills!
I just got lucky on that one.
Heading into the canyon over there, if y'all can see way off in the distance. Still got a mile drive to the wildlife management area, and there's some camping along the way that Kelly wanted to show y'all.
So there's all kinds of camping along this road. We are not even halfway down the road yet. We haven't seen it either, and we want to show you all the boondocking. What do they call them?
Boondockers.
No, the people that get away from the winter. Snowbirds.
Snowbirds.
These are the desert snowbirds, not the
Florida
snowbirds.
There's two species of snowbirds. Now, as you can see right here, there's a fire ring, and basically almost everything out here is free game when it comes to camping. Now, you can't drive off just way out there.
Unless there's a well-traveled path.
Yeah.
Like we're taking well-traveled paths right now.
And I see this well-traveled path in front of us, and I hope we're following it.
Looks like it.
Because I don't even remember how we got in here, to be honest with you.
Either.
There's a fire ring right there too. Oh, there's the road. Okay. How do I look back there?
All clear from what I can see. Yeah, you're good.
And we're on the road. That was easy, Drill Sergeant. I will have to add, this is not packed compared to what we saw on Quartzsite. It was camper to camper to camper to camper. Like Kelly said, I had never seen anything like it, except at a RV dealership.
I was about to say, it was almost like it was an RV park or some kind of RV campground.
This is pretty darn cool.
Yeah, the camping spots that we passed in the wildlife refuge are amazing. Amazing. So much vegetation and life.
Hey, I found a parking spot.
Perfect.
It was meant for us